Good day. Welcome to the PKF V2A YouTube channel. Risk is everywhere. Managing risk is critical for every business. It is therefore crucial for every organization to identify possible risks and develop strategies to mitigate those risks. Let us now zoom into a conversation between the highly skilled internal audit team at PKF V2A that talks to risk, the risk management process, concepts such as risk impact, risk likelihood, as well as what your target risk is. The conversation briefly extends to the role that internal audit plays in the risk management process, as well as how it is used in the internal audit process.
Risk management is essential in today's complex and volatile world. Global interconnections through markets, supply chains, and digitalization mean organizations face unprecedented uncertainties. Events like the COVID-19 pandemic, geopolitical conflicts, and cyber attacks have shown how vital it is to be prepared. Effective risk management helps organizations identify potential threats and implement controls to mitigate them. The key risks include cyber risks that are due to the rapid technological advancements, regulatory compliance where organizations must adhere to increasing regulations and address environmental, social, and governance concerns. Effective risk management is not just a necessity, but a strategic advantage, enabling organizations to navigate challenges and seize opportunities for sustainable success. Now, let us delve deeper into risk. So, Elobehen, how is risk measured?
Risk is measured by its likelihood and impact. The likelihood refers to how likely it is that the risk will occur, while the impact refers to the consequences that it will have on the organization should the risk materialize. The impact can be measured in terms of the 100 basis points or the 5 or 7 Likert scale, depending on your risk methodology, which can be high, medium, or low. When the risk is multiplied by the impact and the likelihood, we get the inherent risk. Risk appetite is the amount of risk that the organization is willing to accept, whereas the risk tolerance is the deviation for this, which is the maximum level that the organization can accept. Target risk refers to the level of risk that the organization wants to maintain to achieve their objectives while staying within their risk appetite and risk tolerance. This is the zone in which the organization feels comfortable. Ntikile, can you give us an example of how we can measure the risk?
Risk can be measured as Uleboheng has explained. We use impact and likelihood. For example, if your impact is 8, and your likelihood is 10, then it translates to 80, which is now our inherent risk exposure. Now, if we measure our control effectiveness at 20%, for example, then we will be having a risk exposure of 60. Now, if we have a risk exposure of 60, the organization has got the latitude of saying how much risk can we accept. That is now our risk. Our target risk, as you have explained it. That is now the target risk would be 35. Now the difference between our current risk exposure and our target risk, that's where we need to put a lot of effort for us to now move to an acceptable risk tolerance where the organization would like to be.
Earlier in our discussion, we introduced cybersecurity risk. What we are seeing through research that 97% of organizations are facing an increased amount of attacks due to the global political tensions. Organizations are now starting to prioritize investments in protecting third-party networks and our own external networks. This highlights the importance of cybersecurity into protecting the organization's integrity and resilience to face cybersecurity threats. What we notice is also while cybersecurity is responsible for protecting the confidentiality, the integrity, and availability of data, the supply chains, the internal network, external networks, physical infrastructure, the risk exposure is very high due to the ineffectiveness of controls. Cybersecurity requires proactive strategies to mitigate and reduce the risk.
Now, how do we at PKF VGA Advisory assist you in the development of your risk-based internal audit plan? Firstly, a risk-based approach to auditing is taken. This is where priority is given to areas with the highest risk, as resources may be limited, so they are directed to where it is needed most. Hence, we also say there is never a one-size-fits-all audit plan or approach for every organization. Each internal audit plan is tailor-made for the specific requirements of your organization. Stay tuned for our next video, where we will be taking you through the implementation and execution of your risk-based internal audit plan.